Thanks for joining us, everyone who is here in person with us, and those online as well. And we're recording this session because, well, it's the first of a few sessions we'll have as we educate people about CGMs, right? So I have, and I'm just going to hand it over, and Ramon is going to take over and introduce his colleague. But as I said, this session is to kind of sensitize you all about the CGMs, the continuous glucose monitors, and also demonstrate how to use it because we are about to sell it at the association, make it available at the association rather, with the hope that we could have it accessible or have the Ministry of Health make it accessible for type 1 children. I already spoke to the minister about it, and he just wants proof of concept for it, and this could be something that could be put onto the CDAP program as well. So we're going to start it. Hopefully some of the parents will take it up because it's pretty cheap compared to the ones that were there before. It's a really good option, especially for type 1 children and of course anybody with diabetes. So I'll hand over to Ramon. He'll introduce his colleague and then he'll continue.
Thank you, Andrew. Morning, everybody. I'm Ramon Larez, and this is my colleague, Dr. Patrick Knight. We are here to introduce to you guys the Aidex CGMS system. All right, so I want to have a small presentation that I want to show you guys. So as I go along, if you guys have any questions, you can also ask me. You can stop and ask as well, right? So this Aidex was produced by a company called Microtech, which is based in China. Off on the screen. Okay, so Microtech, they were established in 2011. Look, they were located in California, USA. Their manufacturing facility is in China, and they went on to introduce this the Aidex in 2011 as well. This is a timeline that shows the history of the different milestones that was associated with Aidex. As you can see, they have launched it in many places in Europe. They also have it trying to get it into the US market as well right now for Aidex. It is CE approved, and it's also CFDA approved, which is the Food and Drug Approval also body of China as well. So you have the EC mark and you have the CFDA mark. They have not gotten the FDA mark in the US as yet, but they are working on that as well right now. We also have the ISO approvals as well for manufacturing of the factory as well. So they have all the certificates needed that shows that they are of a high standard. All right, so let's go on. All right, this gives you some specifications of the transmitter and the sensor. The transmitter looks like this. This is the transmitter here, and then you have the sensor that you apply to your skin. I'll pass it along this here. All right, the transmitter lasts for 4 years, so it's like a one-time purchase. It's a one-time purchase of 4 years, and and the sensor comes with a shelf life, sterility life of 1 year, but it lasts up to 14 days in use. So you replace the sensor every 14 days, and you have a transmitter that is reusable up to 4 years. The transmitter has a battery in the transmitter that once connected to the sensor, it powers up the sensor. So how does it work? The principle behind the CGM is that you apply the sensor to your skin, and there's a small little filament that goes under your skin to the applicator, and there you have an enzyme on the filament and the sensor has a algorithm that calculates your blood glucose level at that point continuously over a period of time. So as opposed to doing a finger stick where you will get the BGM at that point in time, this gives you your reading every 5 minutes ongoing. You have two ways that the sensor connects to give you a reading. You have an app that you have on your phone that you download. Also, there's a PDA that you can invest in as well. But the app is much easier since everybody has a smartphone available now. So that's the easiest way of getting the different blood glucose level. Any questions so far? Oh, are we all good? Okay. So I'll go forward. So these are the 10 features that the Aidex CGM has with the sensor and the transmitter. It's calibration free, finger stick free. You don't need to scan, so everything is sent automatically to the app or the PDA if you have it. You have 14 days. It's valid for 14 days. The sensor actually expires after 14 days. So you will see on the app where it tells you it's expired and you have to replace the sensor to a new one. The accuracy is 9.08%. That's the MAD accuracy level. You have the smart, you have high and low. So when they say high and low, you see when between the low range, which is 70, and the high range of 180, you get actual alerts alerting you that you're going up or going down or close to the thresholds. All right. Yeah, it's a little pain for implanting. We actually tried it, and you actually have no pain when you are applying the sensor as well. It's waterproof to an extent. I talked with Jenna about this at length about waterproof and going to the pool or going to the sea. So you should try to reinforce it if you're doing that. But it is waterproof. So you could have a shower and that kind of thing with the sensor on. Well, as Andrew mentioned, it's a low cost because of the 4-year transmitter cycle. And the sensor, it's a lower than most CGMs. I mentioned we have the CE and the different certifications, and also a good feature about the CGM is that you can share the information with relatives, or you can share with your doctors as well. Everything goes to the cloud, and you are able to access it. Your doctor can access it via a website. And you can actually share your data, your blood levels to a parent or to a relative to see your levels. In case, for example, if you have a child that goes to school, as a parent, you can actually monitor remotely to see what levels that the child is at during the day. All right. So just to give you some advantages, it helps you to manage your lifestyle better with CGM, because as you eat different foods and you exercise, you see how the food that you eat will affect your blood sugar level instantly within a few minutes after. So that can help you to manage your lifestyle better. The CGM is very small. I mean, if you compare our CGM to other CGMs, it's a little thicker because of the transmitter, but again, it's pretty manageable. If you wear depending on where you wear it, and again, it's waterproof as well, so you can take a shower and stuff like that. But I always say that you shouldn't overdo in terms of the waterproof aspect. Where you go, as I mentioned, the pools on the sea, you should try to reinforce it as if you want to do that, you know. Going forward, more advantages here of the CGM system. It shows your glucose trend, right? You are able to set your levels for alerts. It comes preset with 70 as the lowest and 180 as the highest, but you can actually adjust that in the app if you want alerts to go even higher than 70 or lower than 70. So you can do that within the app. It shows you your time and range on the app. There's a button where you see trends. It will show you your time and range at any point in time, and also helps you to reduce your HbA1c as well. Also on the app, it shows you where you are in terms of your HbA1c. So all this is calculated in the algorithm on the app. the app is also easy to read. So you see your trend, your future trend arrows if your blood level is going up. So you see it on the app. So you could adjust your meds or whatever you need to do accordingly. It shows you your current level, and you also have the past history where you can go back, scroll back to see how your different trends. Even if you're sleeping at night and you don't know what happens during the night, you can also go back to see what happened a few hours back. All right. All the information is stored in the cloud, so you can actually get all the information on an AGP profile as well as you can download after 5 days or so. But you have to continuously use the app, use the CGM, to get all that information, that data. This is the AGP report that you can send to your surgeons, to your physicians. That can help you. That can help the surgeon decide how if they need to change your meds or adjust your lifestyle in terms of what you eat and that kind of thing. So you get all this from the app as well. And this is a little chart showing you how the CGM will interface with the different applications with the blood glucose monitor, with the CGMS, insulin pump. We have all these things available at Aidex, and they all log into the PanCares. The PanCares is a website that your surgeon could go on could log into. That is something that I spoke with Andrew about, that we want to get to the level where doctors can actually log into the system, to the website, and actually monitor their patients every week or every 2 weeks as they see fit, so that they can have a holistic approach to diabetes management. But we will get to that stage where we'll train the surgeons how to log on and operate the website to get to full data and that kind of thing. This is just a snapshot of how the whole system works. Right. So again, this is just further explaining the PanCare system for surgeons or the endocrinologists, where they could log on online. They could create their information, their account, and then the patient will share the information to the surgeon. So this is just a snapshot of how the online system could work. All right. All the data about insulin injections shows on the graph. Everything about different levels of the blood glucose. Everything is downloaded and kept on the cloud, and the physician could actually log into the system and pull that data down. Thereby, helping them to formulate a plan for that patient as well. Another thing too, where this system could help us in terms of the website and in terms of the database. We could pull a list of people where there are a lot of people who are either hypo or hyper. We could actually pull out patients who are continuously doing that all the time, and we could actually target them and tell them, hey, you need to check your lifestyle, you need to change your meds or so forth. So the physician has that information at hand, and we can actually target people who may not be serious about changing their lifestyle, that kind of thing. But so this is where data information comes into play. All right. Any questions so far concerning the yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, pass.
Yeah, hi. The transmitter, you said it will last for 4 years. So how often would we need to change the battery?
Sorry, we need to adjust.
So yeah, the battery is internal into the transmitter. So you don't need to change the battery. That will last 4 years. They have tested it and it lasts up to 4 years. So once you get the transmitter, once you purchase the transmitter, there's no place to change the battery, as you'll notice. That's the transmitter there, yeah. And this is the sensor. The transmitter connects to the sensor, and once you connect both of them, the battery is already active. It activates. Yeah. You can visualize it better, yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
You said even though it's waterproof, you still have to be mindful that you have to reinforce. How do you reinforce it? If a child goes to the pool, like my kids, if they go in the beach, they want to be in the water. constantly? How do you reinforce that if that gets water for like 4 hours?
So the sensor and transmitter is actually waterproof, right? But it's up to a depth of I think 3 meters. So you don't or 5 meters. You don't want to go below that, and you don't want to be in water for more than 30 minutes, right? But for you to do that, what you have to do is to try to reinforce it with something called tegaderm, or it's tegaderm, right, Jenna? Yeah, yeah. So let me tell you. Yeah, one.
Okay, so with regards to water protection, I'm kind of tizzic when it comes to that. So I would use Tegaderm for going to the beach. That was a tip Salma gave me. So I would use a Tegaderm whenever they're going to the beach or even to the pool, depending on how long they'll be there. For sports, physical activity, self-adhesive bandages works really well. So it keeps it in place so that they're able to play their sports. But most importantly is where you place your sensor. So you want to place it on the fats where the back of the arm is. So that area is generally doesn't come into a lot of contact with people or objects and things like that. But if you place it where there is high muscle, chances are you can quickly knock it off there. So Tegaderm for beaches and pool, because that's the waterproof bandages that hospitals would use to protect wounds and stitches and things like that. So Tegaderm comes in various sizes. For safety, I use the large one. I think it's about 4x4, I think. So I use that large one and I still wrap it with an adhesive bandage for beach and pool, just for extra. Now that she's older, the Tegaderm alone works, but when she was younger, I would use both.
Just to add to what Jenna said, you could also put the sensor onto your stomach as well, but you still need to put the tegaderm and to reinforce it when you go into the water for a prolonged period of time. Yeah.
Rivan?
Just what is the range of the transmitter to the devices, and also what about, let's say, the children in school? How will you be able to monitor, let's say, as a parent with the child in school?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me answer the second question first. So when the child is at school, you have to have data on your phone, on the child's phone, so that data or Wi-Fi connected to Wi-Fi, so that you could actually so that the sensor and the transmitter will transmit the information to the child's phone's app first, and then that will go to the cloud where you'll be able to access it as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I guess that answers the range then. So because once you have internet and Wi-Fi, you're going to be able to and there's no range limit then. Is that what you're saying, right?
So in terms of the Bluetooth is once the phone is close to the transmitter, and it depends on the length that the device itself, what's the range. So I mean, if you have the child is in one room and the phone is in another room, it should be able to pick up. It will pick up the information. But if you go out of range of the Bluetooth range, then it will not be able to get the information. So it depends on your phone, the range of your phone, and the Bluetooth. That's within Bluetooth itself. But does that make sense to you?
Yeah, all right. So just to get clear, so the Bluetooth connection connects to the device, and then the device that you have with the data uploads to the cloud or whatsoever to the app, right? Correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Great.
Yeah, and then once the phone gets once the child's phone gets the information with the Wi-Fi or the data, then you will be able to get it to your phone. Obviously, your phone has to be connected to data as well to get that information as well too.
Yeah, but all right. But what about the app? Does the app have to be open all the time for the data to be transferred? Because you said every 5 minutes you get a reading, right? So
Yes.
does the app needs to be open at all time on the child's phone? Let's say per se, in school or whatever. So or as soon as you open the app, it uploads the entire data.
Yeah. So when you download the app, you have to set the app to be always on the phone. And yes, and in that way, every 5 minutes it will upload, but you don't need to necessarily leave the app open all the time. So once you go back to the app, the information will upload automatically to the app.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much.
Okay. Just want to check one thing.
Just regards to what the gentleman was asking about the Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth is what is used to connect your sensor, the transmitter, to the child's phone. That happens continuously. But in terms of the update to the cloud, that will only happen when the child checks the app on the phone. So the child actually has to open the app, then that will upload to the cloud. And then you would be able to see it. So you would get the last time on your side as the parent. You will see the last time that the child uploaded, you will get that reading. Until the child checks again, then you will get the reading updated on your end, if that helps making it a little bit clearer for him.
Yeah,
Question.
it's clear, that's all.
My kids are 5 and 7. They will not go to school with a cell phone. So would it work where that I could still get the information on my phone, and could I get it for two? Like, would I be able to access it for two kids on the same phone, or is it that they must have a phone with them in order for it to be updated?
So yes, for you to get information remotely, the child has to have a phone with them, so that the transmitter could connect to that phone itself. You see, if they don't have a phone with them, or a PDA that you can connect, then your phone will be too far away from the actual transmitter. So it needs to be within Bluetooth range. So your phone will have to be there. But once you're not close, well, the child has to have a phone or the PDA there for you to access it. Yeah, yeah. A suggestion for that maybe is that you can give your teacher the phone and let them hold it for you, and then on afternoons when you collect the child, and then you collect the phone as well. So that's an option. In terms of users, where you could share the child, that phone could share to many users, to yourself, to your husband, to your sister, to anybody that you choose to share to. That single phone, the child's phone that is getting the primary data, you can share to multiple phones, to multiple users. Right. Oh, well, the one phone itself, are they the same? They'll be the same school, same. I don't think I need to have one, because everybody will need to log in, for their specific profile. But I can verify for you and let you know. But I don't think it'll work. Right. Yeah. So my suggestion for that is to ask if, you may need to liaise with the teacher to have it close by, because you don't want your phone to be out of range as well. So depending on where the class is. But yeah. 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 Right. We have a reader as well, but again, it's just like a cell phone. So if they misplace a cell phone, they can misplace. Yeah. We need to give it. We need data and thing. Yeah. Any more questions? Any questions online?
Yeah. You hear me? Just
Yes.
another one. So let's say the child doesn't log in for the day. When let's say you take the device and you log in the afternoon, and does the transmitter hold the daily readings, or is it will be the reading at that time?
No. All the information is sent every 5 minutes. So once you log on in the afternoon, you will get the full information from the full every reading from the full day ahead, from the full day that passed.
No. What I'm saying is that not that is the reading. Let's say the child doesn't log in, the phone is not. Then let's say open the app or whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
So let's say let's say the person the child that doesn't carry a phone to school. So let's say the parent comes in the afternoon and they log on the app. Will the entire day readings be recorded on the system at that point, or is it just that reading at that point when they log on?
So you make it a lapse. You will get a lapse. You make it a lapse in between that time. You make it a lapse in between that time, yes, where you will see a break. Oh, you still get it, right? Right.
Also,
Right.
that means you'd get the reading last reading, let's say from the morning 7 o'clock, and when
Right.
you log on, you get the reading, let's say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's the only reading you get within that time. If the child doesn't have a device with the app on, and during the course of the day.
You'll get a full chart. Yeah, you get a full chart when you log on. So
Okay,
yes. So,
okay. So the
yes.
full chart will be uploaded in the afternoon. Let's just say per se
Yeah.
in the afternoon.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
So if I don't, once I reach the school at lunchtime and I could open the app on my phone, all the readings will just start updating. Okay, good.
Yeah. Any more questions online, Andrew? Okay. So let's go on to the setup in for the Aidex. Then are you gonna do a demonstration with Sarah as well? The Shabba was already. So should we? No, this is well. No, I just want to go through the steps quickly. Yeah. 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 Okay, so the setup, let me explain the setup. So for the insertion site, you want to make sure that it's avoid of scars, moles, stretch marks, lumps, and also to avoid the insulin injection sites. And you want to choose a site with more fat, and you want to avoid the muscle area. Because every little tube or the filament touches muscle, it bends, and that will stop the sensor from working. You want to make sure that it's a new sensor, it's a new sensor, and it's still sterile, it's still within the sterile time. And if you're inserting the sensor onto your stomach area, you want to try to push out the stomach before pressing the button to apply it. Right? So that's just some suggestions that you want to do. And first of all, you have to download the app first. It's available on the Play Store for Android and for Apple as well. You log in into when you download the app, you log into the app with an email address. So you must have an email address, and they will send you a code. You enter the code, and then you are registered online. And once you have the app on, then you apply the transmitter, the sensor, and then you attach the transmitter on top of the sensor, like how I showed you earlier, right? And it will take 1 hour for the sensor to warm up, and then you will start getting your readings after that onto the app when you open the app. All right. This is just a comparison with other brands. What brand? Well, I know you guys know about Libre. What other brands did anybody Dexcom? Right. Anybody else had any experience with? So this is just a chart showing you the differences. The main difference here I will say is it's our own the Aidex takes 1 hour to warm up, just like the Libre. Some has 7 days, some has 10 days in terms of sensor life. Some the Aidex and the Libre has 14 days. And I mean it's pretty similar, but it's just in terms of the apps. That's where the difference is into the data and that kind of thing. And also the transmitter life as well, which is up to 4 years. It's another comparison chart. So this chart, if anybody's interested, I can send you the presentation. So for your records, you can always have it and refer to it. So that's it. So we could do the demonstration now for the sensor. You don't have much. Yeah. Sorry, I love one of them. Yeah. So this was there. Another outlet to show. Andrew, you want to test one? Can you test one, Andrew? You can test one. So Andrew, test one. Then we have no for 40 minutes. We have it only at first. Andrew. Yeah, hello. Hello. What's the name? Tanika, you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question. The last slide on the presentation, I saw it said something about 14 plus to use the sensor to use the device. Is that
No, it's up to 14 days for the sensor use. But
I think I
the
saw something with the age range saying 14 plus or something on the last slide before this
let
Q&A.
me go back. Is it this slide?
No, maybe it was the one before.
Oh yeah,
that.
okay, yes. Oh, that's the age. That's the age. This in 2022, the age limit was 14 and above. But we have recently went down to 5 and above. But this is not, this is a older presentation, but we have the studies to show where we can use at 5 and above, ages 5 and above.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so in our case, the freestyle is 18 plus, and she was using it since she was 6 years old. And we haven't had any issues with her using it, and it was endorsed by her doctors as well. So
the main thing with the sensor is that you want to place the sensor in a place where there's more fat. You don't want it to be placed in an area where there's a lot of muscle. I had a patient who was very active and exercising a lot, and when placed on the hand, because the hand is moving a lot and stuff like that, it hit a muscle. So if it is you are very active, you should consider using your stomach as well, a little higher than the stomach abdomen area, higher than the belly button, so it's a little more stable. And if you exercising a lot, you should reinforce it as well with the adhesive tape or gauze over it as well. So show the component of the part. This is the yeah. Yeah, I know. This is the box that the sensor function. This is the case. It comes around after a year. All right, so just show them everything. So this is what the sensor comes in, right? So this is the sensor and this is the applicator.
inside it. And then the transmitter is where?
The transmitter.
Transmitter comes in that box.
Open this box here. Let's open it, but this is a new box. I don't know if you actually keep a look at the this is the here. And this is what temperature I will have to for you. So when you open the applicator, you unscrew clockwise, 3 times, and you get up. Sensor, that has to be
For the applicator, the sensor is inside. And then there's the stick to put around the stick. Go, and the rack up. It's all good. Patch.
in the box. You also get a little patch of dry. This will reinforce the sticker on the front side.
So the only thing you don't get, but you have to use the microphone. That is my.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and in the box with the sensor, it doesn't come with a wipe, a sterile alcohol pad, so we have to provide that as well. This is the over patch for the sensor. That's to reinforce the sensor when you apply it to your skin. Yeah, and this is the app that you download, and you have to use an email to log in to register onto the app on your phone, either for Apple or Android. So now we're gonna demonstrate on Andrew how to apply the sensor.
What? I wanted. And then I could show everybody where it is.
So just make sure I focus then. Just make sure the camera focus.
It's still what's he doing. But I saw it. I'll do that. Yeah, if I can.
Come closer.
So fucking.
Wait. Wait, hold on.
Microphone. Yeah. Yeah. So Jenna, we're going to the microphone.
So this is the applicator. If you're applying the sensor to the hand, you want to make sure that the sensor is vertical. So this button, the blue button, which that you press to apply, you want to make sure that the sensor is not horizontal, because it will be a 90-degree to the arm. So you want to make it sure that it goes with the length of the arm is vertical. If you
So should I what? Just
Yeah, that's the yellow system just.
yeah.
Like just so I'm like, relax. So if I do like this,
You're flexing the muscle. Yeah. Relax, yeah.
so if I do like that while I have it,
Yeah.
so I can make sure that
Relax, yeah. And just show the camera, you want to make sure that the transmitter and the sensor is in a vertical position like this on the hand to go in line with the axis of the hand. Right? If you do it like this, then you tend to get the skin when you're moving it, it will kind of move the sensor a lot. So you want to go in line. If you do it on the stomach, you want to put it along the horizontal axis as well, as opposed to vertical. Because if you're sitting and it's like this, it could bunch up under the sensor and cause it to stop working. So on your stomach, you want it horizontal. On your hand, on your arm, you want it vertical. Okay. Oh. All right, look at that one.
Everything will get actually minor technical difficulties. What kind of difficulties? Yeah. Yeah, it's soft. Yeah, we touched it and it was soft. We wanted to know what it was. So, okay, well, I can show. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so let's turn this around for something good now. So before,
yes.
just show them.
Okay.
Right. So guys, when you take out the applicator, you're going to see this needle. See, it's a needle. It may scare you, but this is just used to apply the cannula into the skin. So the cannula, it's plastic, see? It's just a filament. It's like a silicone plastic material. So this is what remains in the arm. So it's not going to be causing any pain at all to your child, which is something I was very concerned about. So the needle, when you take out the applicator, is just to insert the cannula. This comes back out. This is what remains. So it's not the needle. The needle doesn't remain in the skin.
That's not, yeah.
So, okay.
It's good, but I don't want to.
So in terms of
So we could keep this one here to demonstrate.
Right. So when this would have gone onto his hand now,
Right.
this would have come.
Right.
My hand sticking. Put this on. So it would have looked like that. But you would have wanted to just put it a little bit more on the back area, then make it.
Well, they put on it, but a little bit.
So now let him flex in
Yeah.
front of the camera.
Right, so it does not. So it doesn't, it shouldn't move.
It's supposed to be more and not right?
Well, and you're still gonna do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're still gonna do it.
We have one. Right, so to remove, just squeeze the button up to bridge the ears and you put it on.
And to move this, removing this one.
Just but this is a
So when it peels off, does it bleed or anything?
Okay, so in regards to that, if it is when you happen to put this in that you hit one of the muscles, chances are you would see a bit of blood coming out, but that's only because you'd have hit a muscle or something like that. So if you focus on getting it on the patty area, less likelihood. Now, when you take it off,
This is the part that stays for
the 14 days. So this is what keeps changing. This is the sensor that changes every 14 days. And the transmitter, don't throw that away. You take it out, you put that away, and you put it on. Now you would notice when you take this out, now you see it's bent, right? It's not, if you look at the natural color of it, it's not rust. It's just, that's a natural, it's sort of copper color. So when you take it out, it may look black, but that's because it's dried. You would have dried blood around it, right? So it's not to be scared when you see that coming out. This part goes in the garbage. This part you keep.
Definitely. Yeah, this part here, keep it in. This is chocolate though. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, you come with me.
You wanna wipe? You wanna wipe again? Oh, okay. All right.
And another thing, you can share this screen, pull the screen back. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what was inside. Yes. So would have been too big.
Yeah.
Pushed it
In, correct.
So when it would have.
Snap in. Yeah.
It would really go in this direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, when you're on this side, you have to menu. We just switch arms.
Switch arms. Yeah. Switch arms. Yeah.
One side for this, the other one we just switch the other arm. Because she doesn't like the stomach, so it's all the way up. So we just switch on the arm. So when you would have put it in like this, so just note this would line up with it. Okay. So that's what we're
Yeah. Yeah. Explain it. Yeah. Like that.
So
Yeah.
you understand why? But yes,
She,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it one more time.
Like,
You can wipe. Just wipe.
Huh?
Wipe
Is it possible to change the video angle a little bit? Because you can't even see Andrew.
Yeah. You can see. Yeah. Right.
right, guys. So what I was showing and then sending you. This is the sensor that you're going to be changing every 14 weeks. This is a transmitter that attaches to the top of the sensor. That when you remove it, you put this away safely, and this is what you discard of. The needle is what's inside of here that sends the cannula into the skin. That is why when it's positioned vertically with the knob to the top, it is going to come out in this direction. Seeing it, it's going to be upright. So it's going to be applied upright to the skin. So when you press the button and you pull away, this is what you're going to be seeing. And then afterward, take your transmitter back again and snap it out. Right? So we're going to do the real thing now. Hopefully I don't.
That's good, right?
So many good times, please. So, yeah, have a little bit of. We were commenting about it in the back just now. This package doesn't come with the alcohol wipes, but it comes with the patch. On the Libre, it's the flip. You get the alcohol wipe, but you don't get the patch.
Right.
So you have to purchase the patch separate.
Yeah.
So there's some fun facts. Yeah. Right. Sure, you want me touching that again?
Yeah, we're really passionate. So just let it dry. Just let it dry a bit.
Okay, so I did that intentional on purpose to see.
Right.
So even if like one day you forget and you still do it that way, it still works like normal. You just keep putting on your patch and bandaging properly.
Reinforce it. Yeah, reinforce it. Yeah.
Although I wanted to compare for myself, what happens when using two different directions.
Right.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think
Don't worry, Andrew. Don't worry, Andrew.
right, so
Ready.
everybody's seeing, right? Okay. Right, so 7 still a 1 hit, right? So I have to just put my hands back to push up. So you see, it's a lot more fat there. Now that you have fat, okay? So we're lining it up straight. Yes?
Yeah. Sit down. Press it. Wait. Press it down first. Press it down like that, right? And then.
Ready?
Go.
You okay? Now take a deep breath. Show. Yes?
No
Yeah.
pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like wait a couple seconds.
Seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Wait a little bit. You just want to make sure it sticks.
Right.
And then it gently,
Nice. That's it.
right? And the needle, it needs in here. It's not in
Not-
the
not in the skin.
Don't be afraid, right? And
Just right now, this just remember this the transmitter number AH. So once you put on the sensor, you have to put on the transmitter within before 30 minutes elapse, because otherwise the app will recognize the sensor as an old sensor. So you have to do it within 30 minutes. Another point to note is that if you're taking showers with the sensor and transmitter, you don't take too much of a hot shower baths, because the heat affect the sensor as well.
So if you like to take hot shower, you have to
Yeah, it will malfunction, yeah. Got it?
you don't want to 24. So you don't want to do it now with the age.
Alright. Got the age. Love it.
Yeah, we're going
Just
talk about it.
just snap it in. So the circle here will line up with the circle on the sensor. You put it in like this and just snap it. That's it. Yeah, you're feeling pressure. You're feeling pressure on your skin. You're not feeling pain, yeah. Yeah, to play, yeah. If you don't know, we can pressure. Yeah.
Fun fact, if you have Libre patches, they work as well because it has a lot of stretch. So I just, instead of repurchasing new patches, the Libre patches as well as the G4 and the Aidex patches work as well.
On the app, you will see pair app, and you're pairing the transmitter serial number on the app.
Right, you come on.
Does it pull up your hair when you're
Probably gonna walk. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of this.
Well, I'm feeling it. No.
You right now, it got so you're gonna get a wax now, huh?
You're feeling the hair pulling on.
Yeah, now you're gonna get. That's not bad idea, actually. Right, okay, curious.
So that
Right, so you do your flex, deadlift, be here. Get reading of that.
It'll take 1 hour. Yeah, before you get a reading.
like there's some mistake on it. Like a study. And I will use the video.
Superman, get it, Superman, they have some one Superman. So you got like the 3, 4 in front, and then you got 4 out, which should be good in base. And well, I didn't skirmishes to you. So you said, I'm not talking about it, then you get just.
Okay, so when Andrew is going to the gym, he just needs to wrap it with the self-adhesive bandages. So that's just to protect it a bit. No, well, you actually have, if you want to, fancy armbands that they sell. So you could actually get one of the fancy colored armbands to just pull on. That looks like, those, oh gosh, like, you know how the knee band looks? It has the armband version for it. So it actually looks really. No, Granny Gear doesn't have that. But I saw online, if there's a seamstress, an opportunity, business opportunity to actually sew something and probably put that logo on it. And it's not it's not broad, just like about that. So you just slip it up on the arm. Yeah, so that's something you could probably look at. But the Tagaderm is a must for beach and pool. Yeah, you can use the Tagaderm, just the cost of the Tagaderm. So one Tagaderm I would pay like about $20 for, whereas the bandage works out to be a little bit cheaper, or even the reusable sleeves tend to work out to be cheaper. Um,
Well, you could leave it like this. I don't know. Jenna will not be the best answer for school. Soraya, you want to say anything? Come now and tell us how you feel with it. Come. Come on, be brave. Come. Okay, have your notes. Come. Come here. Come here. Come here, Sarah. Come here. Let's not feel grow to the shyness. Come. Come here so they can see. So they can see that.
It's just if people this parents like even yeah. Thinking myself. Go ahead. Go ahead. If one would be when it's got how high it was. On the year itself, not but from our home, they get ready to go out of town. They will see the rough right there on the top. Yeah, that goes right up. And it's fixed with stuff, so it's not like you usually white stuff from the mom. No problem, around one of the bigger. But we got 2 box, the most colored ones, so.
So what I like about the CGM is that it's easy and way less finger sticking. And because of the graph that the app has, you can see how different foods affect you and you can adjust your insulin accordingly. Yeah. CGM. Yeah.
Go on just like this, so you put on something and then leave it on like that. Put everything.
I'll leave it on. Oh, okay. It shows because the sleeve is a little shorter. So what we do is we buy bigger shirts, so the sleeve is longer, so you can't really see it.
So I will wear
Yes.
what you can we have job and fun out there. But as I said, I want to see I want the minister to see it. I want him to see, the utility of it, how easy it is to use, the cost benefit, comparison versus you in finger sticks. I mean, it's more expensive than finger sticks, but definitely you'll be able to get a lot more data and you'll be able people will be able to understand, especially time in range, which is very important. A very important metric, time in range, rather than just taking a random blood sugar in the morning or the evening. Your time in range is very important for diabetes control.
Yeah. Okay, so I know the hesitancy because you're thinking this thing is going to be on my child's arm. I went through that fear and that intimidation of just, as you saw here, direct demonstration of my fear sometimes when it came to that. And it took me a while in the early days when I first learned about it. And I have to thank Salma for that because initially when she was diagnosed, our doctors did suggest her going onto a CGM, but the cost was prohibitive. I remember telling Andrew it was upwards of $30,000, which was, I mean, I just couldn't afford that. So, and it was only a while afterwards speaking to Salma and her husband, she was like, well, we use a CGM. And I was like, well, what about the cost? She said, no, we got another option. And she put me on to CGMs. And since then, we've never looked back because the first day she put one on, she was just about 6, 7 thereabouts. And she was like, I feel like I finally have control. And because of that, we've been able since then to now meet her A1C target. So she usually averages like 5.2, 5.6 A1C levels. And we were also able to change out insulins to know which insulin to use. We were able to adjust dosage for insulin, especially when she went into puberty, to know when to adjust her basal insulin and all of that. Her doctor was able to identify and be able to make those changes because of the data on a CGM. So when she used to finger stick, we had 3 machines. So we still, I mean, this poor child used to get finger stick 3 times because each machine had its limitations. And I would then 3 different finger stick and then find an average and use whichever one. So just like the limitations you have with a finger stick machine, remember, at the end of the day, this is technology just like a finger stick machine. It's going to have its limitations. It's not going to be an absolute perfect cure-all, but it does for us help in managing. You can see the impact of food. It's not just a random number. So when your child eats something, you can know what she or he is insulin resistant to. For example, you learn that pizza, within the first half hour, you come down, but then 2 hours after, you magically skyrocket. So you know how to adjust for things like pizza. You even learn which pizzas tend to be a little bit more insulin resistant than others. Believe it or not, Mario's tends to respond a lot better to insulin than the foreign ones. So things like that. Interesting data you learn about the different foods, things like different fruits. She can have watermelon without having insulin, but if she's having mango, she needs to have a 1 or 2 units for mangoes. So that type of usable information, we didn't get it. I'll speak for myself. We didn't get it finger sticking. It was because of the CGM. If it's high or low, we will finger stick to verify that it's high or low to know exactly what it is. So it's not that it eliminates finger sticking. We still finger stick as well. With regards to the cost, which for me was a key factor, we were paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month for strips. And then the cost at that time for the CGM worked out to be about $1,200 a month for CGMs, which for us worked out. If you have insurance, diabetes testing supplies and equipment is covered. So you just need to speak to your insurance provider to find out what you'll need. Generally, it's just a prescription from your doctor and the receipt for where you purchased it. So that covers your cost aspect of it. So it's not something foreign. With regards to the FDA, I realized you mentioned that. Libre, everyone knows about it now. But a few years ago, you couldn't get Libre in the US. It was not FDA approved. It was for years available in Europe, for years available in Canada. And it was only recently, and you have to remember the American medical market is profit driven. It's a different type of medical market. And even the standards that's used in Europe, it's different to what's used in the US. So all of those things, I will suggest, do your own research. With regards to the age, one parent pointed that out. The Libre, for example, is 18 plus. She was using it since she was 6. So I know you're going to have a lot of apprehension. I know out front, it looks like a lot of money compared to strips, but when you total it for the month cost-wise, it kind of evens out cost-wise. But any questions, feel free to talk to Andrew, talk to Ramon. Even if you want to message me, I know Salma as well. She's a wealth of data when it comes to CGMs as well. There are persons, any questions, feel free to ask and we'll try to help as much as possible. But the heat, definitely. The temperatures, you need to stay away from the temperatures, as well as vitamin C affects CGM readings. So if you're taking ascorbic acid or any type of vitamin C supplements, that affects the readings on CGM. Having an orange, grapefruit, Portugal, that's perfectly fine, but your body processes natural fruits and vegetables differently than it does to synthetic or lab developed ones. So again, I hope this information helps.
Thanks, Jenna. And just to add, well, the price, as you mentioned, the price. So Ramon and I would have worked out something special in that we don't charge VAT here at the association. So we'll be able to offer the price exclusive of VAT. But of course, we want to have the price on the markets the same, meaning that we would charge the price that you all are offering on the market with if somebody who's not a member. But if you're a member, you're getting, well, the price exclusive of VAT or the lower price. I can't remember exactly what it was. You can remember? 470? Mm-hmm. Yeah. A member. Yeah. 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 So you'll get the lower price as a member. So it'll be the 470 for the sensor for the sensor. And the transmitter is a one-time purchase of $600. So basically to start off with around $1,000 to start off once you're a member. And then every month it's 470. Sorry, every 2 weeks it's 470. So every month is about $1,000. And again, you get it insurance. But what we're trying to say is we want to show Ministry of Health, let's get it for the children. At least because Minister said he wants 100. And he said that. So I want to show him, Registered members, yeah. You need to be registered members. We need to have paid and you need to have your card, all of that. And I think we had a good bit of new DYS children registered. So the children need to be registered as members of the, which is, of course, it's $40 to be a member for a child. So make sure you're a member. Of course, we hope the parents are members as well, but once the child is a member, you get the price for the child. Yeah. Any questions or
I just want to give a few comments from a physician point of view. Usually when we have patients that come in with diabetic complications, because your blood sugar could go too high from not taking the medication, as well as too low, not taking the medication a little too much or a little too well. So when they come into the hospital, we have the diabetic emergencies. We start checking their blood sugar about 3 times a day. And we set up something called an insulin sliding scale. But a lot happens between breakfast and lunch. So we miss all the data points. So that means the patient will have to stay in the hospital for a longer period of time for us to get the data. And then we need to trial the medication that we start in a month, whether it's oral or insulin, and then see how they respond, and then discharge them. So that means the patient will be admitted for about a week or 2 weeks, depending on the insulin resistance and the tolerance. So the benefit of the CGM is, as the name implies, you get continuous glucose monitoring. So you have all these data points, and you also get, so even if you're being lazy or busy, the parent, the physician, the endocrinologist, the surgeon will get a notification that the glucose level is increasing rapidly. You get a notification on your phone as a ping, or the glucose level is low. So even though you could be distracted and you have other things to do, you always get a notification on your phone, and you could set it up so you could have you just get a message, or you could set it up with a ringtone. Now the next thing too, well, I tried it as well. I'm not diabetic, but it was very interesting for me to learn about what happens with my blood sugar according to the food I eat. So I could actually see, because what we want to achieve is what you call you want the line for your blood sugar to be almost level, right? You don't want highs and lows. So I was able to modify my diet and the way that I eat to make sure my glucose level stays above that. Because I don't want to test my glucose tolerance either. I want it to be nice. One of the things that increased my blood sugar a lot was juice. So after I drank a glass of juice, regular juice, my blood sugar will increase from 80 to about 160 in about 30 minutes. And I will get that message, your blood glucose level is increasing rapidly. Yeah. And one night I was trying to do intermittent fasting. And one night I got a ping, my blood glucose level went low, was less than 70. And that was important data for me to have, even not being diabetic. And on the other extreme, the professional athletes and cyclists, they use the glucose monitoring to help train so they can get the set points to lose weight, get lean body mass, and they also want to check their oxygen, how to use the oxygen when they're training. So this is more physiological data that they use to get feedback into the training. Another thing I noticed was I was concerned as well with the applicator, if it would hurt. And it didn't hurt at all. As a matter of fact, it was disappointing. Eh? it had zero pain. Yeah, it didn't hurt at all. And after the first week using it, so it took me about 4 or 5 days to get accustomed to having something there and stop bouncing it or forgetting and scratching it. And then the second week, I knew it was there all the time and I was aware of it. By the end, maybe by day 12, it started to get annoying. Yeah. By day 12, I wanted it off. Yeah. I got a lot of information from it. The results were very reliable, I thought. Having the phone near means I had better information. I did have some times where I had like it didn't get a few readings in the night, maybe according to the position I was sleeping in. So like I was just checking the spacing in my dots, but you're supposed to get a reading every 3 to 5 minutes. But like in the night, according to my position, because I had it on the lower anterior abdominal wall. And but I was able to still pick up a trend because obviously you're getting more data points than the finger sticks. That's just a few things I noticed, and just to reiterate everything that Jenna said, which was good to get from your point of view, which is important, actually most important, because the guys that develop the technology develop it for patients like yourself. Yeah.
Sorry again. The lack of readings, or when you see those gaps, it's because your fluid intake was low. So usually you have to increase and ensure you drink sufficient fluids during the day for it to read properly. If it is you're dehydrated, your readings are not going to be accurate and you're going to have those gaps on your reading. Yes.
That's where real life yeah.
Glucose enzyme, right? On you can't. So what is left inside? That's coated with a glucose enzyme. So that's why it starts out nice and shiny, and then it gets oxidized. So that's why by the time it finishes black. So it will be directly related to yes, your fat content and your water content, because then the results wouldn't be reliable. So that's a good point.
Who started? Okay, so in our case, I did calibrate the machine, I think within the first 24 hours. I tend to do that for myself with any new machine to calibrate it just to make sure it's accurate. But you could calibrate means you put in the manual reading, because I don't think we mentioned that today, that when you do finger sticks, you can also input that manual reading into the app. And when you input the manual readings, it also improves the efficiency of the algorithm that's being used by the system. So within the first 24, 48 hours, once the reading is stable, you do a finger stick and you input that machine. There's the option to calibrate on the app. So it's going to come a lot closer because of the train effect. Remember, your blood versus I could never pronounce that word properly. Yes, you have that time delay. So usually when you calibrate, it picks up for that time delay in the readings. So I just did it once, and I actually sent a pic to Ramon where I did the finger stick. I had her, poor thing, simultaneously on 2 different CGMs and a finger stick, and the variance in readings was just about 2 points. So that's how come was spot on. Yeah, it was identical. You have that pic? Yeah, because I took a pic. Because you get the variances even in the finger stick machine. If you use 3 different machines, sometimes the variances is like 50 plus points between 3 different machines. Yeah. So it's the same thing, and that's why highs and lows you still do the finger stick to make sure and for treatment.
So obviously I don't want to start it off where persons just come and buy it and take it and they don't know how to apply it. And even, I mean, Amanda and Alicia, all of you all, I don't think you all could apply it for anybody as yet. So what I think we could do to start off as the next phase is we could get a group of people who are willing to go onto it, to buy it. We could advertise it for a while, get them to buy it and organize a day for them to come in and collect it, where Ramon, somebody could come in, we could apply it onto them so we know that these are the first people buying it, but we doing it properly. And you all will get the experience as well to do it. And from there, then we could advertise it more. You all will get the hang of using it better. So you all could show somebody how to apply it. You could even try it out. I mean, you could use my sensor and they could use a different the sensor transmitter. You could use my transmitter and use a different sensor. And you could try it out. So everybody could try it out every month to see how it works for yourself. I mean, for us advocating for it, we need to know how it works. And so we could do that, and then we could again promote it. And another, I was telling Ramon, a good way to do it is that I've seen people do videos recently about, and they have and there's another brand just specifically geared towards food, and I can't remember the brand. People do it and they do videos and they say when they eat this is how the blood sugar goes, and they, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To see, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, so, oh, so. But I know we could have a big market for it, and I know because the price point, I mean, $1,000 a month, which is good, I think, I mean, some people definitely wouldn't be able to afford it, but that's how the Ministry of Health is going to come in. So in this first round, we have people who could afford it, not just type 1 children, I mean, anybody, adults, athletes. We get it started, and then we invest in promotion. So we go into doing videos for ourselves, doing the same videos, eat a doubles and see how your blood sugar rise, and you show it. And you say, this is a Starbucks. Yeah. 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 So, I mean, we could do those types of things. And then, of course, we go on a media campaign. We go and we advertise and on the morning shows, we show them it. And, sorry, I will go with us and um, sorry, I'll be the star. And Joanne, yeah. Well, yeah, Joanne like that. So Joanne will and we could show Joanne jumping around with it, and so we could try it. I mean, we don't need to buy a real one, and if he can't use it, but we could try. Yeah, to demonstrate. Yeah, so Amanda, you'll hold on to them. Yeah. So anyone has any other questions before we end? Because I need to run into you, Yeah.
Guys, as with technology is here to help us, but the technology, sometimes you get where the technology, when you apply it, might last a few days, might not even work when you apply. So we have to be mindful that, I mean, it doesn't it's even though $1,000 a month may not be in comparison to finger sticking, it's not too much. we still want to be careful and try to make sure it lasts as long as possible when you apply it onto your body, right? For the 14 days. So I want to reiterate where you should try to reinforce that all as much as you could, where the bandages or even some gauze as well, especially if you're very active. So you want to try to make it last as long as possible to get the maximum benefit from it.
Well,
Right.
by the bandage, you have an period. Was the name of the bandage self-adhesive? Is there a different size you have to buy, or all the same size? Okay. The self-adhesive means it doesn't stick to your skin, it just sticks to itself. Okay. All right. Okay. One question, yeah. Who has a question? You could, Ravon?
Yeah, so just to get it clear, so the sensor and the transmitter is the 470 for one, right? Correct?
No. The sensor is 470 without that. That's the price you'll get as a member. The transmitter is $600, and that's a one-time purchase. And that's you only have to buy that once every 4 years, basically.
Okay, so the sensor it's 470.
Yeah. And that's where you have to, that's every 2 weeks. That's what you have to change.
Well, that's every 2 weeks based on if it doesn't go wrong, correct? If if
Yeah.
something
So
activity
because
levels and whatever.
sometimes my last 12 days,
All right,
sometimes. Yeah.
and what about availability of this product and and when it will become available to the public? One, what access date, general access date, because because my kid he's 8 years old, so he and he's active, he's running around, he's always playing. So I'm not saying I'm gonna try, you have to change it every 2-3 days, but at the end of the day, you have to be prepared for these kind of things also.
Yeah.
And then not
so
just
maybe
have unlimited stock or something.
Yeah. So we will have the association from this week. So I'm going to tell Ramon to bring 10 sets for us to start off with. We will start producing the artwork. We'll start to advertise. We will pool at least 5 people to start off with. When we have 5 people who want to be on the system, we'll invite them all on a single day, a single session, and have them on board on the session onto the device. In terms of, your child, yes, there'll be, as Jenna and Sharda was trying it as well, there was a learning curve. So sometimes it may go wrong and you just have to figure it out. But again, reinforcing it is a good idea if it's an 8-year-old.
Okay. Well, as I was saying, I don't mind trying it, but it just I have to, we have to just make sure availability is is there.
We will have it. We will have it at the association. We have it here, and it'll be on our online shop. So, can it be transport? Does it have to be transported in the cool or anything? So we could dispatch it through our online shop as well to Plantain Seeds. Although we wouldn't want to do that right now because it'll take too long. So we want people to come here for it. Yeah, to start because we want to show you how to do it.
Okay, so by the end of the week, it should be available at the association.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you really want to use this technology with your son, you have to sit down with your son and tell him, the benefits of it and let him know that.
He understands already. So, he's,
Right.
what I mean, it's something that he wants to get done and something that, he understands what is diabetes and everything. No,
Right.
he wouldn't understand fully everything, but it's something that would help him as an 8-year-old because he's been, since he was 3 years old, he was diagnosed. So he has been growing with it. So this is why I'm asking all these questions, because we are interested in it. It's not like, we're not. But at the end of the day, you have to get, we have to make sure we know, you make the right decision based upon the information being given. And this is why, so as I said, I don't mind trying it at first, and then we see how it goes.
Nice. Okay. And just to let him know that you don't want to stop him from being active. Just for him to know when he's been active, you have to reinforce it properly, put like a gauze over it and a tiger dome over it, so you get extra protection for the sensor, so it doesn't so you get maximum time out of it.
And so Amanda, you'll also find it from Jenna where we could get those bandages, the tiger dome, so we could stock it here as well. well, Superfarm will get it expensive, but where they get it, we gotta find where Superfarm will get it. Huh? Whoever is distributor for it. So you might have to search and see who's the distributor for it. So because 3M Lucky's, so then find it from Lucky's then. If we could get it from them, and then we'll have it cheaper than Superfarm for sure. So we could be able to do that. So I think we could wrap up this segment, this session now. If anybody else has any questions, we are always here. Anybody else online? No? Yeah. Yeah. So whoever wants to onboard onto it, and we will put that out. Jenna, I want you to kind of be the person in the group to do it. Put it out and say it's going to be available. Ramon, if you could just share the prices with Amanda again.
Yeah.
And then we could share it in the group, have persons sign up, at least 5 persons. Once 5 persons sign up, and I mean, we'll put out ads as well. So general public will call and find out. Once we sign up, we have at least 5 persons, we could do a session where we could put it on for them, and then we could monitor them, and then we could promote. And so we build, because it's a very new technology to us. Yeah.
Just quickly before I end, right? Seeing that it is available this week, right? In this association. Now, seeing that you don't get the 5 persons interested. Now, can we do it as an individual?
Yeah, well, if we do get 5 and we get 1 or 2 or whatever, I mean, whatever let's say next week, Monday around this time, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m., we will do a session. We'll invite everybody that time, and then we'll onboard people on that time. Is that, that day? Yeah. So we'll do that. So next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m., Jenna, if you're available, I would want you to be here. Yeah. So, and Soraya. Yeah. So you gotta show them. Right? I will still have mine on, and so I will show them. Hopefully, yeah. I don't get fed up, right? But yeah. I just feel like if you take a piece of masking tape and stick it on your hand, that's how you're feeling. That is all you're feeling. And how active he is. Yeah.
Just one thing I forgot to add with the younger children, if they are too lean, then it will become an issue, because the muscle will come into play and it will always touch the filament. So the child cannot be too lean. Yeah. No, it's abdomen or yeah.
We could try it, and in the interest, okay, so we will try it. And in the interest, if Joanne wants to volunteer, we will pay for the first one for him. So we'll pay for a sensor for him and a transmitter. So he will be a little guinea pig for us. Right? And then he could yeah. And well, he'll be the best person, because he's very expressive. So he'll tell us exactly. Yeah, so we could do that.
Tuesday at 10 a.m. Yeah.
So we have one.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and it was a pleasure introducing the Aidex CGM to you all.
Thanks everybody for being here. You wanna end it? End it and leave it on, because I have to